Once we have identified the root cause, and as Dr. Sudhasu told us, that root cause had led to certain reactions within our body which is reflected by our behavior. Somebody would be totally withdrawn, not feel like doing anything, given up. Some people become more active, hyperactive. Some people think that it's a phase, it will pass on, let me pass this phase. They'll either try to sleep or watch TV or pick up a fight with someone unreasonably. And that particular reaction we have to see is the best suited for us.
Okay.
So that we can come out of it.
Adopt that, and kind of, does it really mean, Trapti, that you have to accept it? A certain amount of stress will be there in you or has to be in you. The question is how well you cope with it, is it?
Exactly, like we've just discussed, that stress is not something that you should deny. Once you go into a denial mode, then you're adding on to your stress. Identify that there is stress, identify what the situation or the cause of the stress is. Then the last step would be, what can you do to actually cope with this stress? Whether you can fix it, if you think you can fix the problem. If, let's say, you haven't studied and you feel that, next day is an exam and you're not ready for it, then try to concentrate, sit in a situation where you can concentrate on your studies, fix the problem. The other thing would be that right now it is not a matter of concern. For example, you have to study right now, but you're thinking about a fight with your friend. Well, there's nothing that you can do right now. So you might as well put it aside for a while and concentrate on your studies. So that's another way of coping with the stress. There are situations, however, when you really cannot do anything. It is beyond everybody's control. It could be the weather, it could be the traffic, it could be anything. So accept that I really cannot do anything about it and I have to be in the situation for a while. So find out a way to wear it. How can I be in this situation and still not get stressed? For example, if you're in a traffic situation, you really cannot fly. You have to be there. So you might as well accept it, turn on music or do something, just admire. There are things that you don't get to see when you're driving alone.
Some deviation technique, think of something.
So another important coping technique would be positive thinking. If I feel happy, I cannot be stressed. So probably just look into the mirror and give yourself a smile. When you're smiling, you will not be stressed. That's for sure.
Right, well, they all are smiling right now. Okay, but then let's be very honest and let's be very real. Okay, I want to ask you, have you ever felt stressed, and if yes, why?
When I want to do something very perfectly, then I feel so stressed for that. I don't know why.
Would that be performance orientation, whether performance oriented because you want to perform, you want to attain perfection? Let's have one more reaction.
I'm feeling so stressed about my account subject.
Okay, a particular subject may haunt. You find it difficult?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Dr. Sudha, what should they do? I mean, what should they do about it?
See, again, I'll tell you technically that there are two types of stress. We define them as external stress and internal stress. Now, external stress is anything which is not under your control. For example, your exam. For example, your parents, people, friends. Nobody is under your control. Time is not under our control totally. There are 24 hours in a day, none of us can change that. So these are the things which are called external causes of stress. Now, internal causes of stress are those which are under your control. For example, your attitude, your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, these are under your control. So what you are facing is internal causes of stress. You want to be perfect. Nobody is making you want to be perfect, but it is internal stress which you have. Now she has more external stress. That is, the subject is bothering her. So therefore, how do you deal with these two? First of all, identify whether the root cause of stress is external or internal. Now if it is external stress, we know that it is not under our control. So accept it, that I cannot do anything about it. Short of changing my subject, I cannot do anything about it. So accept it, like Trapti said, and go on. But internal causes of stress are under your control, and therefore you can change yourself. So one of the key ways, which I believe very strongly, that you can control stress is by changing yourself.
Is this about altering your attitudes to certain situations?
It is your expectations and your capability. You are getting stressed because your performance is not matching with your capability.
Okay.
Right? You have to understand what is your actual capability and then make efforts to increase your performance to have the optimum utilization of your capability. Right? So many a times our stress would be somewhat unrealistic. We have made unrealistic plans. We are trying to achieve something which is not in our control. So what you need to do is go and study yourself. You have to study your own strengths, weaknesses, and the weaknesses, can they be converted into your strengths? If yes, to what extent? How much time would it take? Right? If you talk about accountancy, your accountancy subject is giving you stress. Why it's giving you stress? There could be some reasons that at the initial stages of your academic life, you may not have been able to study. That means the fundamentals are not very clear to you in any subject. It's not accountancy, any subject. If fundamentals are not strong, and then you start building your superstructure, you keep on practicing some of the examples, right? And you think that, yes, I have learnt it. See, in technical terms, this is called splinter skills. You get skills in parts, not as a whole.
Basically break that problem, attain those skills to break that problem.
Yeah.
Now, yes.
When somebody is expected towards me to perform well in exams.
Acha, performance anxiety. You are expected to perform well, and that causes some pressure on you, pressure on your mind. Yes. What about you?
When my exam is
Near or approaching, when exams are around the corner, you feel stressed. But even if you're prepared,